I gotta clean up a little bit, and then again I need to go get a crate. It is only 6:50, so it's pretty early considering I've been out here until like usually 1 a.m. I guess I'll get cleaned up and go find a pallet. So I was looking at where I can get this thing hooked on. There are no hooks anywhere. This is the closest thing to a hook that I can find. Usually there's a couple hooks up on the head. This one doesn't have any. I don't know if they were just taken off or what the deal is. Kind of looks like there would be one right here. All right, taking a little night trip. Try to go find a pallet somewhere. And I'm gonna go to Home Depot, see if I can grab some ratcheting straps as well. So yeah, hopefully I can find a pallet. Wow, this car barely wanted to start. Wow, look at those lights. What is this, a Volkswagen? Off we go. Last minute Home Depot trip because they close in like 30 minutes. Alright guys, so I got a pallet from Home Depot. I think it's a crappy pallet, but it should do the job. And I got a bunch of those ratcheting tie-down straps. The only thing that I forgot to get is some like eye hooks that I can screw down into the pallet so that I can actually use those straps, because otherwise there's going to be nothing to actually put the straps on. So I'm probably going to have to make another trip to Home Depot tomorrow, and then I'll be all set. Alright, so last night I took a look at this one more time, and I found that the best way to do this would be to stick a bolt through that hole right there. I didn't think of that before. Before I was like, oh, I can't get the hook on there, so it's not gonna work, but I forgot you can stick a bolt in there. So that'll work well. This side I'll have to just use this part of the mount. That lets me take the trans mount off completely, which will help me out a lot, because then I won't have to lift it straight up to clear this thing, this part of the body. Instead I'll be able to just drop it, or just rotate this whole end out over here. I won't be able to just straight up drop it because I can't take this mount off completely, because this section is gonna stay connected to this section because there's that bolt right there holding the two together, and I can't get to the other bolt back there because the mount needs to be disconnected completely in order to disassemble the mount. Basically, I can stick this hook right on this mount like this. It's a little bit tricky, like that. And then this other side is going to be on this bolt right here on the head. And then I'll have like a little floor jack maybe over here underneath the trans just to be safe. And I'll disconnect these top bolts right here, which will drop the mount off, drop it out of the mount. And then I can disconnect the rest of the bolts from the body to get that mount completely out of there. So yeah, it should be pretty easy. Should be able to just like either pull it, lift it a tiny bit and pull it straight out, or like maybe drop this side and then kind of like rotate it out. Not sure, but I'll figure it out. So I got my Acura right here. I think this is the first time the Acura is meeting the 2.5 Golf. Here it is, nice big pallet. All right, so the this guy, just show you guys real quick. Oh man, got a lot of stuff on here. Okay, so the pallet is looking good. I replaced these thin pieces of wood that were breaking apart with these big sturdy 2x4s. Got 3 nails in each spot, so we got 3 of those 2x4s. I didn't bother cutting them because they only overhang by like 2 inches on either side, which isn't that bad. And I pulled that, where is it? My dad just took it. I cut a whole section off of this, so it should fit much more nicely now. So this thing is pretty sturdy. I have confidence in it now. So I haven't been able to find a rental truck. I did not think this was going to be an issue because I looked up online rental trucks, like pickup trucks, as if I was going to rent them, and they kept saying that they were available. But then when I actually tried to do it, they all said that they didn't have any trucks. I tried every single rental company within, like, I don't know, pretty far, honestly. For tonight or tomorrow, they either don't have trucks or they're not available. So what I have to do is use my brother-in-law's truck, which it gets kind of wobbly at high speeds, so I got to keep it kind of slow, but it'll work. So I'm gonna go pick that up pretty soon. It's gonna be dark in like 15 minutes. Yeah, that's the plan. It's been raining a bunch too, so I'm not really missing out too much from the wasted time. Most of my time on the phone, it was raining anyway. So I'm gonna leave in like 10 minutes to go pick up his truck. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try to pull off the alternator, because if it does start raining again, I don't want this thing to get wet. So there's a bolt right here, and there's another one down the bottom. And the one at the bottom, actually they're both being blocked. So the bottom one's being blocked by the lower idler pulley, and this one's being blocked by the tensioner. So that was a long bolt. That was annoying to get out. Alright, so now I finally have access to that guy in the bottom one, but I'm gonna go pick up the truck and I'll do this when I get back. Alright boys, we got a truck here. I'm pretty much ready to go. The thing is, it's now pretty late, so I don't know if I really feel like being loud and like rolling around this thing. So I'm pretty sure this thing is really loud. Let's see. Not that bad, but not ideal. So maybe I'll just get the hoist ready in place. Maybe I'll drop it out. I don't know. I might drop it out. But then rolling it over to the truck is gonna be loud, because I need to roll it over to the truck, put it down onto the pallet. The pallet's gonna be sitting in the bed of the truck, and I'm just gonna lay the engine right down onto the pallet, and then I'll strap it down from there, and then disassemble the rest of the stuff. Oh, I can finish pulling the alternator off. I completely forgot that I need to do that. So I'll see. It's getting pretty late, so I don't know if I really feel like pulling this out right now, but I mean, I want to really badly. It's just a matter of being too loud for my neighbors. All right, so the chain is pretty much set up. I got this guy hooked onto this part of the mount, and I got this other part bolted through this hole that is part of the head. So I'm not really sure what length to put this guy on, but I'll give it a little test drive here and see if it like is tilting one way or the other. So pretty much I can take out the mount bolts. The mounts will still just sit flat on the body here. So I'll take the bolts out of the mounts and let the mounts still sit on the body on both sides, and then I'll give it a little lift and see if it's gonna be like tilting one way or the other. All right, I got the 2 bolts out of the engine mount right over here. So now I gotta get those trans mounts. sorry, transmount bolts. All right, I got the 4 transmission bolts out. This engine is now completely 100% ready to come out, I think. So I'm gonna give it a little test lift right now. My girlfriend just stopped over and gave me some ice cream, dairy-free, because I have a allergy to dairy, which really sucks. So I'm gonna enjoy that later. It's kind of nice and cool out right now, so I'm not even worried about it melting or anything. So let's start lifting this a little bit and see what happens. All right, we're finally almost up here. So let's see what happens. So it's definitely pulling. Okay, the engine's gonna rotate backwards just like I thought, because I'm lifting on pretty much just the front of the engine. It might cause an issue, it might not. It's just rotating backwards. So if you look at the mounts, you'll see that well, can't really see the mount very well over here, but so right here you can see that the mount is lifting up off the body, but hopefully it doesn't want to rotate much more than that, because that is going to cause a problem if it does rotate more. So I can completely drop this mount out, like I think I told you guys. Once I have this completely secure and I know that this is good, I can take these bolts out, this one and that one down there, and the trans will just drop out from underneath the mount. So then I won't have to worry about this mount clearing everything coming out. I don't know what the heck that is. We either have some pops and bangs going on, or we have someone doing some crazy ass fireworks. Oh, it's a Wednesday. There's a car meet nearby. Never mind. That's what's going on. I'm a little bit worried that the turbo is gonna have an issue over there. Okay, well the whole engine's lifting, but it's still rotating. I'm afraid that this thing's gonna want to completely flip. Like, since I'm lifting only from the front, this whole thing may want to just like go from like this to like this and just be hanging on the side. I mean, just looking at it, that's exactly how it's gonna go, because I'm only lifting from the front. The center of gravity is all the way over here, and you're lifting it from here, which means the center of gravity is gonna want to swing underneath wherever you're lifting it. So yeah, this probably is not good. So actually this hoist kind of loses hydraulic pressure in there on its own, so that actually just let itself down. I didn't even have to do anything, which is good and bad. It's bad if I'm planning on leaving it on the hoist all night, but it's good because just now it just kind of came back down to safety without me doing anything. All right, I got the floor jack under here, holding the trans a little bit. I can rearrange it a little bit more, but that's gonna hold the trans so that I can undo those bolts to drop the trans out of the mount, and that'll make things a lot easier. But I'm not gonna take the engine out right now because I'm just moving really slowly since it's late and I need to be quiet. I don't even feel like speaking out here because speaking kind of like voices carry a lot, so I'm just trying not to piss anyone off. So I'm going to pull this away a little bit, close the hood, and probably edit a video tonight, and then in the morning I'll wake up super early and I will pull this thing out. See you guys in the morning. Oh, I also gotta clean a bunch of stuff up out here, so got a lot of stuff to do. This morning I had to run over to Home Depot and grab some hooks to put into the pallet so that I can actually put the straps onto it. So got some of these guys, which hopefully should work, and some of these in case these don't work. I'm gonna have to drill some holes and get these guys in here really quickly because it's already 10:30 and I need to leave in like an hour and a half. I need to get the engine out, strap it down, take the trans off, all that shit. Boys, I turned to the camera and put my hands up like this in excitement, in accomplishment, and the camera was turned off because the battery died. But I got this thing out. Did my first solo engine removal. So that feels good. Downpipe came like flying out, and a ton of coolant was pouring out of the block. But she's out. So now I'm running so tight on time, like I don't really have time to even strip this thing down. But I'm going to lift it up onto the pallet and strip off what I can, and then strap it down, and I just got to get on the road. That was the part I was nervous about, but now I'm just tight on time, so I gotta keep moving. All right, so I got it on here. This truck is pretty old and the suspension's not fantastic, so that actually dropped the truck a lot. So I'm a little bit scared of putting two engines in here, and the trans and the turbo and everything. So I'm going to try as quickly as I can to get this trans off and get the turbo off. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave the chain right here, just in case something happens when I unbolt this. But yeah, hopefully I can get this off pretty quickly and easily. All right, so I can't pull the trans off because the transfer case gets in the way of the block right here. So I need to pull the transfer case off, but I can't pull the transfer case off because there's a bolt, Allen bolt in here that you need an extremely long 6mm Allen. I have a set of long Allens, but it's actually not long enough. So kind of shit out of luck. So I have the trans completely loose, but I can't even take it off. So that really sucks. Nothing I can do about it. So I'm just gonna take the exhaust, take the turbo off for now, and that might be all I can do. Alright, I hate that I have to leave the turbo like this, but I have to leave it like this for just a couple minutes while I undo both of the oil lines, the oil supply line from right there and the oil drain line from right there. All right, so I ended up having to go do stuff for my job for a couple hours, and actually got in trouble for missing a meeting, and I think I'm getting fired now because of this. I just don't see myself going anywhere. There's nowhere I want to move up in the job, and the job is very boring and it doesn't challenge me whatsoever. So I've been wanting to leave for a while. I just haven't had anything better. Yeah, so basically now it's like 3:30. It's gonna be too late for me to go pick up the other engine and then also drop this one off at the builder, so I'm gonna have to just do one or the other. So since I'm possibly getting laid off, I am possibly gonna have to do this build myself instead of have the builder do it. So I'm not gonna bring this to the builder yet. I'm just gonna go pick up that free engine from the other shop. I'm still gonna give them like $100 because they had to take some time to put on a pallet, and they're gonna like help me load it and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go pick that up. So I'm going to leave this one here so I don't have to strap it down to the pallet, strap it down to the truck and everything. And that'll give me some time to get the trans off. So if I do have the builder do it, I can get the trans off before that. So yeah, so I'm gonna move the engine over here, just put on the pallet right here, move a bunch of my stuff out of the way, clean up a little bit, and then head right out and go pick up that engine.